Hmm. So we are trying to understand how the five sheet or the coverings creates a veil over the real self. Our goal is to discover that real self and live into that state all the time. So I have two simple stories to make you aware, and that is also an alarming sign to alarm to Sam, who has started learning Hatha Yoga. So one guy got deeply interested into the Hatha Yoga and he started doing Hatha Yoga for 10 to 15 years. First sheath become very beautiful. Every day he wakes up, he finds himself full of energy. But the mind did not change, because mind will not change without any knowledge. So the mind kept all the desires and the cravings. The mind was totally obsessed with the pleasure outside. Unfortunately, he died at the age of 150 years, because if you are doing something physical, so your aging process is delayed, and which is very common. And he was doing yoga, so he went to heaven. And heaven is full of pleasures. Normally the depiction of heaven is that you have a river of vodka all the time. You have the beautiful girls for seeking the pleasure. That is the depiction of the heaven in almost all the religions. So he went at the door and guard invited him. No, you have done yoga, so most welcome to heaven. You see, I'm criticizing my own profession. But we should have a right knowledge. So another assistant, public relation department of the heaven said, let me take you to a tour to the heaven. So here is a river of vodka. Anesthesia is maybe very much aware. We are also aware of vodka here in US. So, and then he went, he took him to lot of all kinds of pleasure, women or men, whatever you want to say. So he sat down after the tour and started crying. Climax is yet to come. So the public relation officer said, why you are crying? I cursed that Hatha Yoga teacher because he asked me to do all these practices. That is why I lived for 150 years on the earth in the hell. I should have come much earlier, so that I should have enjoyed everything, all kinds of pleasures. We don't talk of the packs, we talk of the beauty, figure, and you see, I've been doing yoga for how many years? 20 years. That is why we need a knowledge. Every master says that we need a knowledge to understand where the mind is going. The third sheet and the fourth sheet created a wrong notion about who am I. And every time You go out, you say, how handsome and beautiful I am. But the mind did not change. That is why we are understanding this 5 sheath. We have to remove the veil. When I go deep into the meditation, I am reading as it is. I got an email. When I go deep into the meditation, more the suffering inflicted on me. Is it possible? I meditated and my mind absorbs your knowledge. I'm not telling the name, it's okay. And the mind goes into the higher plane. Or as if he understands, the mind goes into the higher plane, and that higher plane inflicts injury to him. You see what happens due to misunderstanding. But the suffering I'm going through is so much. Where did I go wrong? Consciousness should let me live in peace and happiness. What the consciousness has done to you? Why the consciousness will be chasing you and creating an injury on you? Are you understanding? Sir, I'm his head, What is your appraisal of me? Fact is that you are crazy. But can I say you are crazy? No. Problem is this. You can you can understand my situation. And then he writes, am I a seeker or not? Why the consciousness going against me and punishing me? You all have understood that. But now I'm reading as it is. Why the consciousness going against me and punishing me when I have meditated so much? My mind ingrains all your knowledge. So now I'm also responsible. I'm also responsible for it. Consciousness should help and create conducive environment for me to awaken, or it is hell bent on finishing me. This is what happens when we do not get the right knowledge. So when I wrote, the consciousness has nothing to do anything to you. Consciousness cannot go against anyone. Are you clear? He wrote me back, don't be angry over me. We are always in a very interesting situation. We take it easily. So then I said it is better not to respond. And it is caused by the ignorance of the 5 sheath. 2 examples. One is the mind is constantly seeking, wanting, obsessed that peace and happiness is outside, and that is why I curse the teacher, Hatha Yoga teacher, because you did not allow me to go to heaven earlier, because I stayed on the earth by doing the Hatha Yoga practices. My aging process was delayed and I died at the age of 150. I should have died at the age of 50 to go to heaven and enjoy all the suffering, or enjoy all the pleasures. So this is what you are seeking. It will not work. We do not understand. It is ignorance. And the second I have already written. It's a real life example. Can you think of my plight that I receive almost 40, 50 emails? Because you are not a seeker, you are not ready to listen, you want to continue with your obsession, and that is the ignorance. The purpose of these 5 sheaths is to understand clearly that none of these 5 sheaths is me. It is mine. It belongs to me. I have to use it. A car is there, phone is there, TV is there, and etc. I have to use it. But it doesn't mean that it is me. So if we miss the discernment, if we miss the viveka, discernment is first and dispassion is second. Then you do the practices of meditation even for 50 years, nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. I told a story to the Sam that one lady officer was there when I joined my federal government job. So she also used to taunt me, I have 10 years of experience. So I waited for 5 years. Because I was going to my master's, so my master was giving me that understanding. So after 15 years, I told her that you have only 1 year experiences repeated 15 years. Repeated you 14 years. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm just going, close my eyes. I do meditation, I do meditation, and then it is not going to happen. It is not going to bring any result. Discernment and dispassion is required. If there is no discernment, no dispassion, nothing is going to happen. Honey, don't disturb me. I'm going for a meditation. So 2 hours of meditation. Once I return, I become the same person because I do not understand these 5 coverings. I'm giving you some ideas. The moment you say why the consciousness is inflicting injury on me, you are already in delusion. To remove the delusion, you need a knowledge. No practice will work. You have to understand. And that is why I covered one topic in a very briefly way. A seeker who is not a miser. Huh? I'm a miser, then mind will punish me. My own mind will punish me. My own mind is not able to understand, and still I am sticking to the same old thought pattern. Nothing is going to happen. That is why our master says, journey has to continue. Understanding all these principles. I told you, simple way. Look at this 5 sheath, how it is working. I see you. Physical sheath, food sheath, but it demands some consciousness force or energy. That is the second sheath. I need a desire to see you. That is the mental sheath. I should take a decision. That is the intellect. And the I-ness. I enjoy seeing you. I'm happy seeing you. From where it comes? It comes from the 5th sheath. But what is the ignorance here? I see you and I'm happy. Remember this, and you have to contemplate every day. That I see you, that you are different from me. Fact is that you are not different and separate from me. That comes from the 5th sheath. You got it? Yes, I got it. Say yes, even if you don't get it, so you can listen to it again and contemplate it. So now he's asking me a question, am I a seeker or not? You are always a seeker. From one point of view, you are always a seeker because you are seeking peace and happiness. But according to the Eastern wisdom, we need certain qualities that must be met if we want to learn this journey. We'll talk about it. After the fifth kosha, we stuck to the fifth kosha. I just told you. I'm happy seeing you. We normally say, happy seeing you. I'm very pleased to meet you. You should be pleased to meet your real self. But it doesn't mean that you stop saying this. That will be another problem I have already explained from the real life example. It is very interesting, and the more and more you understand who you are. So now let me continue explaining about the fifth sheath. We stuck at the fifth sheath, and it causes a deep delusion. Oh, what kind of a teacher you? That's not required. I'm maybe crazy. I may be a bad teacher. Who cares? Question is where you stand. What is your goal? Is your goal is to discover a teacher, or is your goal is to discover your real self? And then I become angry if I respond to the email. Then I create an image, and then I will return after 2 years. So what kind of a? This is what puts you into such a delusion that you are so close to the real self and still you miss it. That is why we say master and a seeker tradition. This is a master and a disciple tradition. That is why I say I lived with my mentor for 26 years. It doesn't go so easily. No, I have to spend 26 years. I have a lot of things to do. Do it. What you do, you are doing it out of ignorance. Think of it. No, I'm very busy. Yes, remain busy. Some people say, I don't have money. Okay, no money. But the real people return, now I have the money. You see, I'm ready to spare. I'm not telling the name. So, coming back, another level of ignorance, the real self. What is the meaning of saying all this? The real self cannot be objectified. The moment you objectify it, it creates the false I. Both the stories applies there. That is, did you understand that? Why I have understood and still I am saying the consciousness is inflicting injury on me because I am living with the false I. That does not want to leave me, or I am very dear to the false I. That is another way to put it, that the real self cannot be objectified. If I am aware of it, I am free from these 5 sheaths. What is that meaning? Objectification. There are 2 things. One is known. I know the mouse. It is known. It is an object. I know it, but I'm not the mouse. I have told you many a times. Now, instead of a mouse, now you make a statement. I am stressed, coming from the false ego. That you know who is in stress is an object. It is not a subject. You instantly separate yourself and you are there. But it does not happen. so easily. If you are not a seeker, it will never happen. But then I contradicted that we all are seekers. Are you getting it? There's a very subtle movement of the knowledge. Subtle movement of the knowledge. We all are seekers. Question is, did I follow the right path? I'm a seeker. I want peace and happiness. I objectified my peace and happiness outside. I'm living with the false ego. The false ego will inflict a lot of injuries. Oh, he has only a small injury. People inflict millions of injuries on themselves. And my famous friend, you already know, Bill Gates, 27 years of loveless life. We claim we are a knower, and that is the false side. That mistake we do it. It comes from the fifth sheath, and there the problem comes. I gave you a couple of examples. Why don't you understand? I cannot speak anything, but I'm speaking. Fifth level of ignorance. We should be very clear in the field of our awareness that the real self cannot be known by the mind as an object. The way I know the mouse, I cannot know the real self. This is the meaning. Knower cannot be known by the mind. We experience our seeing ability. In the same way, we just need to experience our knowing ability, keeping the mind calm and silent. Keeping the mind calm and silent. In that silent awareness, real self dawns. The way the sun knows the sun by itself. Senses in the mind are not required to know the real self. That is why we talk of emptiness. That is why we talk of emptiness and the silence. There is no other reason. Or can I say in a different way? The language is not able to express. It is an awareness of awareness. It is a consciousness of consciousness. Nothing else is required to experience our awareness or to become aware of our awareness. Then those who are non-seekers, they say, oh, define awareness and consciousness. Are they different? No. Forget about the difference. That awareness of the awareness is the sun is knowing the sun by itself. Follow the tradition first. See where you have reached. If you have a doubt, obviously, the doubt removal tools are there. We have 1 million doubt removal tools. But if you get obsessed with only one thing, false sight, these two examples fits. Food sheath, all matter, complex matter. Energy sheath, all functioning of the systems. See, that's simple. All functioning of the systems. Mental sheath, all mind, senses, motor organs with the thoughts and feelings and emotions. Intellectual sheath, I-ness is there, and the ignorance or the pleasure sheath, all pleasures. I'm happy to meet you. Whether I say I'm happy to meet you or whether you say unhappy to meet you, it comes from the same fifth sheath. There is no difference at all, to tell you frankly. There is no difference at all. Because expression is coming from the intellect, the false I, and the mind. So do you remember the operating principles by which we remove the ignorance? Maintain your awareness throughout the day. I am unchanging. 5 sheaths are changing. 5 sheaths are object of experience. I am the knower. I am a subject. I am the knower. 5 sheaths are known. Third operating principle, 5 sheaths are product of karma, efficient cause. I exist before, during, and after. I told you, we celebrate our birthday. Today is 18th April. You existed before the 18th of April in the womb of a mother. Is it not true? Go back to the 9 months. You cannot produce anything out of nothing. It means you existed before. Body did not exist. Are you getting it? So 5 sheaths, 5 sheaths are product of the karma. We will take up later. I existed before, I exist now, I will also exist after. Who is this I? Real self, not the body. I am conscious. 5 sheaths are not conscious. They are matter. 5 sheaths are part, product, and properties of a matter, but I am one pure consciousness. You are already there. This week, sit calmly anywhere, even for 5 minutes. Think about the first sheath, food sheath, height, food sheath, height, weight, place of birth, name of parents, complexion, color of eyes, color of hair, etc., etc. Recognize their traits of the first sheath and ask yourself, are you your height? No. Am I my weight? No. Am I place of my birth? No. You will find the answer big no to every traits and qualities. I am beautiful. What to whom you are saying? To the body. Matter. No, you all are beautiful, but I'm saying this, explore that. Same with the energy sheet. Body temperature. I'm not the body temperature, pulse rate, blood flow, sugar level. I'm not saying, but you see, none of them have. And the mental sheath, skills and the knowledge, anger, jealousy, arrogance, desire, greed, fear, seeking pleasure, likes and dislikes. The moment the mind brings all these things, I'm none of them. It is the property, trait, expression of the mental sheath. Then the intellectual sheath, I-ness. I am depressed. So you are talking about the false I that is depressed. Because you know. So what you know is not you. What you know by the mind is not you. That is false I. So we are talking of that subtle I that continues to work. The way this, my friend wrote me back, don't be angry. So you change your topic. Now how should I reply? Tell me. We are in a very difficult situation. And the last one, the Anandamaya Kosha, the situation that gives me a sense of pleasure by seeing others. It means I always see the world as different from me. There is a duality that I see because of the fifth sheath. Even if I'm happy, even if I'm unhappy, doesn't matter. It is all I am in ignorance. Going beyond the 5 sheath, inside my head in the practice of meditation awakens you to the real self. But if that wisdom is not there, that knowledge is not there, then you curse the Hatha Yoga teacher because, he helped you to live for 150 years. You should have gone earlier to heaven to enjoy all pleasures. River of vodka, women pleasure, big mansion. So heaven chief has given you a permission to enter into the heaven because you did Hatha Yoga. You did something good. But even that good doesn't work. With that goodness, we create a bigger I, false I, than the smaller. Yes, close your eyes. Let us start our journey. Eyes are closed. Body is steady. Oh, let's see. Body is steady. So look at the entire body. You are in the state of sensation, comfort, and steadiness. And you're carefree too. Eyes are closed. The mind is facing within. That facing within means that you bypass all the 5 layers of delusion, 5 sheath. And that is why the master says, Vidya dadati vinayam. The mind has to be highly receptive to learn and understand these principles. Otherwise, you will face with the same problem. Are you angry over me? Yes, extremely. Consciousness is inflicting injury on me. Yes. Consciousness has no role except to inflict injury on you. So if I write that, then you are angry. So what we need to be a good seeker? Vidya dadati vinayam. The knowledge leads to humility, means the receptivity. I'm open. I'm ready to drop my wrong notions in the presence of the knowledge passed on by our great teachers. And then receptivity results into qualification, discernment and dispassion. Vinayam dadati patratam. And the patratam dhanam apnoti. So that inner qualification results into 6 treasures of relax and calm, power of discernment and dispassion, and that results into permanent peace and happiness. Just for a while, awareness of the first outermost sheath is the body, wherever you feel the sensation. So when you feel the sensation, you know which part of the body. So that is what the foot sheath is. And check, are you in the state of sensation, comfort, and steadiness? Annamaya kosha. Who is holding the body? Without energy or a force or a power, we cannot hold the body. And that is our second sheath. You are sitting because of the second sheath. You are listening to me because of the second sheath. See the difference. I'm making a difference to make you aware. The third sheath causes the desire to listen to me. So that desire is different from the force or the energy that is holding your body. And the fourth is the I-ness. That I-ness declares that, okay, I'm holding on the body without any disturbance. That's why I'm being carefree and comfortable. Oh, mind has already a desire to succeed in meditation. But then I have already added a point. The mind is facing within. You're not going to heaven. No, sorry. You may be going to. That is different. But at present, you're not going to heaven. And the fifth one, there lies the ignorance. Why I am not able to see that? So your awareness, your attention is to remove that ignorance. But because the mind is still to have a clarity, so we say that purify the mind for a while, focus inside the heart in the space, and there you drop Shantoham, and body remains steady, the first sheath, and you use the breath. Start breathing quick and short breath from both the nostrils. And the I-ness is also there. I is doing the breath. Mind is helping it. That is the third sheath. So continue. Continue, quick short breath, Om Shanti, or Shantoham continues, and the body remain in the state of sensation, comfort, and steadiness. So you can easily become aware of the 5 layers. That is why we are doing this. Not simply breathing, it increases oxygen concentration. We are not interested in that. When we are a good seeker, we may complement those things, but our goal is to find the real self, not to increase the oxygen concentration. That is a byproduct. In freedom, you are enjoying the breathing. The false I is not returning with a force and challenging you. That is also very important. There are many points that we are learning every time. And stop this. Just become aware of the food sheath where you feel the change in the sensation. become aware of the second covering, that is the energy sheath. And the simple way is to become aware of the breath. Another, you're listening to me attentively, that power, that energy. That is why we say sound energy. Do you remember? Yes. I hear the sound through my faculty of ears, no doubt. But if energy is missing, I can't hear. And the third is the mind, mental sheath. Am I listening attentively 100%? Or the mind takes me somewhere on a pleasure trip or a trip to the heaven? And that false eye, it is to be used rightly and properly. I know you are ego, I know I am. So you follow the principles. That puts you into a state of calmness. So from pleasure we move to the calmness. That is what the fifth sheath is. See that. It is always available in any and every practice. Now is the time to do the nyasa. Start breathing deep, silent and slow. The second sheath, third sheath. Third sheath, move the mind, and when you inhale the breath inside the right arm, in the space, that space represents the fifth sheath. And then singing Om Shanti, fourth sheath. Can you keep looking at these 5 sheaths, breaking them up? And when you move the mind from the fingertips to the shoulders, the right shoulder, so Shanti. And everything it's a smooth ride on a cruise. When you're driving on a cruise on a highway, don't you feel a sense of freedom? I'm just relating it metaphorically. You feel as if you're not driving. The false I merges into the very action. That's a very big topic of karma yoga. All the 5, they are constantly changing, so you can put them into cruise, and then you find behind all the 5 sheaths a sense of freedom, a sense of very deep calmness, plus the joy. Now inside the left arm, from the left shoulder to the fingertips, as you inhale, not making a noise of the breath. It is deep, silent and slow. Why I say that don't make a noise of the breath at this moment? It helps you to keep your higher level of awareness. You live at the heightened state of awareness. And if you're making a noise, the mind takes over you with its impressions. My friends, continue. And now the nyasa on the right leg. From the right side of the waist to the toes, and from the toes to the waist. Awareness of the 5 sheath is possible. Don't stress too much. You are simply seeing the way you see me, the way you see these 5 sheaths. If that happens, you are already there. And inside the left leg, any disturbance, any form of anxiety during the practice tells the not a harmonious interaction of these 5 sheaths. And the cause is nothing but misunderstanding and ignorance. There is no other reason. According to our great masters. Now inside the spine, from the crown of the head, as you inhale, the mind drops down. Om Shanti. Your Shantoham reaches to the tailbone while exhaling. but without making any noise. The breath is smooth, deep, silent, slow. Practically, we are seeing the working of these five sheaths, and now the role of the nyasa has changed. So we recognize the practical working of these five sheaths, and as it and now leave the step, visualize the triangle inside the heart. Move the mind on a triangle, equilateral triangle. And then from the center of the triangle, you move the mind inside by singing Om and then drop Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So when you see that, your saying Shanti remains at the same point of awareness, you're there. Remain as long as possible until any thought disturbs you. It is bound to happen. But so we have a clarity. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Seeing the triangle brings the focus of the mind, natural focus. But at the same time, we do not make any effort. We start moving it on a triangle. Our fourth sheath is at work in the state of stillness in the body, in the state of energy is equally distributed. So we experience the state of calmness. And then we drop. And after that, the mind experiences as if everything has stopped when you are saying Shanti, 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 and remain there. You need not, you enter into the state of doing nothing. In that state, we experience this body is a part of physical universe. Breath and all the movement and the changes that is taking place is a part of subtle energy universe. Don't we know? I see the solid is nothing but energy, quantum. I'm not going there, but just to complement, to understand. And then we start recognizing, oh, these thoughts coming from the cosmic mind. Oh, The body of the existence is the entire universe. Oh, my eye has its own universe. False eye depends on the physical, energy, mind, possessions, thoughts, emotions. This is individual universe, and that is what the false eye. That keeps a separation. And then comes the fifth one. The fifth one gives an individuality. What is that individual? I'm different from the universe. Here is the universe, here I am. So here is my honey, and here I am. Here is my sun, and here I am. Oh my goodness. And then multiplicity of the universe is created in the mind due to ignorance, and we continue to live. We have to remove that. I just explained, so we'll go deeper into these five. We're almost in a state of doing nothing, and at the same time, we are clear about the five sheaths. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. We will share our experiences now. Yes, uncle and nephew.
This is probably one of the deepest meditations I've been in. It encompassed observing a lot of things going on, and me contemplating and reflecting on the 5 sheaths, the concept of projecting, and just letting go of things.
Yeah.
To in which it just created this just feeling of joy with weightlessness. And at some point, I actually felt like my heart was a vacuum, and it was just trying to pull me in. And I felt resistance from it. And then I started going through contemplation and reflection. I said, you know what, forget it. And everything just settled into this place of nothingness.
Beautiful. That is what I said. You are doing practice of meditation for 50 years. Nothing is going to happen. No, but everything is going to happen according to Google and great people who say 5 minutes of instant meditation. That needs to be understood. So how are you?
Good. It was very, very deep. From the quick, short, and fast breath, I almost felt like I wasn't in control of that. It was just automatic, and it was very pleasant to be behind the breath.
Good.
And just watching it happen. And then the Nyasa was very, I want to say, more sensational than usual. But then once we got to the triangle, just absolute happiness.
Very
nice.
Yeah, that is what happens if we follow this. It is known as the discernment of 5 koshas, 5 sheaths. And once you bring that discernment during any practice, it brings the wonderful result. How are you, David and Jerry?
Yeah, for me, it was similar to Stephen's, like probably one of the most deepest meditations I've had. It started, your last it started when I was paying attention to my energy, and that tingliness in my body just sort of carried through right until we got to the triangle in the heart. And then it was the only word I can describe is bliss.
Yes. You pick up any sheath, and what happens? It is enlightened by our consciousness, and that can take us deeper. Whether you pick up and hold on that this physical, first sheath is the part of the entire physical universe, we experience the bodilessness. Because now it's a part of the physical universe. Beautiful. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good. Yeah, it was a lot of reflection during the breath work and the Nyasa of the 5 sheaths. So just kind of observing them and then seeing how we use them, but they don't use us, kind of, I guess.
Beautiful.
And after that, stillness. So once we got to the triangle, just totally still.
Totally still, That stillness also reflects into the silence, and after the silence, what do we say? Awakening takes place. Beautiful. How are you, Rakesh?
Thank you, sir. Today I was just lost in nothingness. So it was very, very cool. I just lost.
Good. That's wonderful. That is, that should be remain there. Objectivity is found when the mind is outside, wavering, wandering, obsessed. That's beautiful. How are you, Kate?
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for the beautiful practice. I am actually struggling with words. This counts. Struggling with words. Immersion. That's the word I guess I can use. Immersion. And the beautiful and discernment. That's As you were, and I could just say yes, 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 yes to everything you were just saying.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
How I. So yeah. If that, it's.
Thank you for saying yes to everything. Beautiful, Kate. How are you? Anastasia.
Thank you. It was deep, and it was being behind, I think, some of sheaths, because I'm not sure about this fifth ignorance, and sometimes I remembered, checked everything out. Sometimes I just dropped and felt nothingness and joy, darkness. So, yes.
Yeah, it comes and goes because the mind enters into ignorance and then it goes deep back into the state, what we see the natural state. I have a lot of thoughts are coming. I'm holding it back so we will understand later. How are you, Ashok?
Sir, एकदम बढ़िया मस्त. I'm very cool in silence.
Very good. He is very happy, relaxed, and calm. That is what he explained in Hindi. So, how are you, Samir?
Sir, it was very dark, very deep. It was very peaceful, and just I was totally still and my body was totally stiff. I didn't wanted to move. Means sometimes you feel like moving, I didn't wanted to move at all. I just enjoyed it, sir. Totally thorough. Half an hour.
Yeah.
It was very good experience.
Very good. So anytime we have a feeling of movement, it comes from third sheath, the mind. Mind has a desire. But it is supported by the fifth sheath. But then we hold back. So who holds back? The fourth sheath. So that is how the more and more we have that clarity and understanding, we start living in meditation all the time. How are you, Brandy?
Morning. I'm fine, thank you. Had a hard time at first getting into a deep state of meditation. And when you said something about halfway through about not having your sheaths in harmony, there was like a really quiet invitation that rose up in me and was like, everybody, all the sheaths come into harmony. And they did. And then I was able to just get into, kind of my regular practice. My mind was running around and my foot hurt and stuff. And I guess I was just kind of pressing along until I just let it all come together. And then it was the second half of my practice was a little more typical for me and deep and quiet.
Deep and quiet. Yes. Remember, I got this word harmonious interaction of these five sheaths. Harmonious interaction of paddle, brake, steering, four wheels is required. Then only we can reach to the real self. So how are you, Edo?
Sir, I'm good. It was very peaceful. It was very deep. At the same time, it looks like that I am behind the practice and practice is happening in front of me.
That's a good,
Very peaceful.
Yeah. Practice is you are driving on a cruise but you are different from the cruise, you are different from the car, you are different from the paddle, you are different from the brake. This is what is all about the 5 sheaths. So normally here in our country, and in there also in India, it is the same thing. We study, okay, these are the 5 sheaths. Done. We have understood. But how to apply that in our daily life is missing. You can ask anyone, Sam, you can ask anyone that what are the 5 sheaths. They will tell you, they will explain you academically. But doing academically is not meditation. So that is all for today. We'll meet again. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so
Garish,
much.
I have a quick question.
Okay.
He's gone.
What is
Thank
that?
you. Namaste.
Oh, no, he's not
Everyone.
gone.
Namaste, sir.
What is question? Kate is asking a question. Yes. Namaste, sir.
It has nothing to do with this. It has to do with I have tried to click on when I can't come the meditations and I can't get in. It says that I can't get in.
You can't get in. Let me check whether you have.
I have 2 Google accounts. Maybe it's one of them. I just can't. I've never been able to get into the meditations when I'm not with you. I click the link and it just says you have not been accepted by the host.
It's not accepted by the host. Maybe,
That's you.
Yeah, let me see. Maybe when you said that you are saying goodbye, I might have removed your email address. So let me check and add it.
No, this has been since the beginning.
Since the beginning.
Being able to act.
So then you have to check your account. It has nothing to do with me.
No, Garish. It says that you haven't let me in to come into the Google. I have 2 accounts. Maybe you let in the wrong one. I don't know.
So what is your wrong email address?
Let me check on which is the right. I have 2. It's like Kate McKean 13 or at Google. Let me hang on while you're on. I'll go into Google.
So Netscape account is not good account. It is.
No, it's not. This is a Google Doc or it's Google. It's not. Has nothing to do with Netscape. Yeah, right. Netscape is not the one. It's a Google. It's like a Gmail account that I'm supposed to.
Okay, I have done it.
What's that?
I have added again your Google account.
That's why, because this is in Google, and so it's not letting me in through Netscape.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think we might have fixed it. That would be great because I've tried to see if I've never been able to do it other than if I see you live.
Yeah. By default, it holds on. If it finds that email address seems to be suspicious, so by just default, it holds on. It has nothing to do with me. So
can I ever do it? Can I ever see you?
One thing is that one thing, it put my name and the email address into your address book of Gmail.
I have.
So then it will allow you.
Okay. I'll try it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Take care.